Hello everyone, welcome to this first class in our second unit, which is Introduction to Shear Force and Bending Moment. In this class, let us see the types of beams, supports, and various loads acting on that beams or structures. So, first, if we consider a beam, what is a beam? If we see the definition, it is a structural element which has one dimension considerably larger than other two dimensions. Like if we take length of a beam, it is very big when compared with the breadth and width of that beam, and it is supported on few supports. The distance between the supports in a beam is called as span. So, whenever this beam is loaded with external loads to maintain the equilibrium condition, and equal and opposite forces are acting on the beam through supports in form of reactions. With that, the beam is said to be in equilibrium condition. While writing equilibrium equations also, we need to consider this both external loads and as well as the reaction forces in the beam. Due to this action of external forces and reaction forces, internal stresses and strains are produced in the beam or a structural member. To find these internal stresses which are produced in the member, we need to consider a cross section in a beam. If we take that cross section, the forces that are acting are the internal resistance offered by the member at that cross section. We will take like shear force and bending moment. So before going about these internal forces and shear force bending moment, we will brief about what are the types of beams we are having and how it is supported with the different supports and what are the various loads acting on these beams. We will see in this class. From next class onwards, we will see what is this shear force and bending moment and the shear force and bending moment diagrams. So let us first see what are the basic types of supports we are having. One is fixed support, simple support or pinned support or hinged support, and roller support. Let us see one by one about these supports. So first one is a fixed support. Fixed support is like support a beam or a member of a structural element is fixed rigidly to a support or a wall or a fixed datum. So whenever a member is fixed rigidly to that support, then such kind of supports are called fixed supports. Here, if we consider in a 2D figure, there may be a chance of moving the member in two directions, either it is in x direction or in y direction, and there may be also a chance of rotating along the axis. So here in fixed supports where the member is rigidly held, at these points there are no translations and there are no rotations are allowed. So the member will try to produce reactions at that support in both translations and rotations. See here, in this fixed support, we are having reaction forces on both translations, which is x and y directions, and also rotation in that plane. All three are restricted. So we have reaction forces in all three directions. If we see an example, this is an steel joist which is connected to the fixed wall, RC wall. This is a better example for a fixed support. Then next one is simple support or pinned support, or sometimes it may be called as hinged support. So here what we are doing, we are restricting both translations in the support. At the support, both translations in x and y direction in 2D are restricted, and rotation is let it free, which means both translations are fixed at that support and rotation is free to rotate at that support point. That kind of support is called simple support or pinned support. So if we see here, we are having restraints in x and y direction, which are translations. So we will get reactions at x and y directions, like the one which is shown here. And a better example is like a hinge support for a bridge or a simple support for a gutter. Next is the roller support. Here in roller support, we are making one more translation free. In fixed support, both translations and rotations are restrained. Whereas in simple support or pinned support, both translations are restrained where rotation is letting it free. But here in roller support, we are making one more translation free. Like here we are concentrating on only y direction. If we see this support condition, we are restraining the member in y direction, whereas in x direction and in rotation, member is free to rotate or free to move. So it is restrained in only y direction. Then we will get a support reaction in only y direction at this place. These are some practical examples which we will use in bridges or any heavy steel structures. Next, if we see the types of beams, we are having majorly 5 different kinds of beams, where all these beams are differentiated with respect to the type of supports. So let us see the first one, which is a cantilever beam. See, cantilever beam is like support conditions are one end is fixed and the other end is free. That is called a cantilever beam. Then next one is a simply supported beam. Simply supported beam is like a beam which rests on simple supports at both of its ends. Like it may be a pin roller or just simple supports. So at both ends, if a beam is resting on a simple supports, then it is called a simply supported beam. And the next one is overhanging beam. It is a kind of simply supported beam, but a overhang portion is beyond the support. See, in the first case, we are having a pin support and roller support and a overhanging portion beyond that roller support. Similarly, in second case, we are having in another side overhanging portion, whereas in third case, we are having overhanging portion on both the sides. So when a simply supported beam is having overhanging portion beyond the support, then such kind of beams are called overhanging beams. The next one is propped cantilever. Propped cantilever is a kind of cantilever beam which is supported with a simple support at its free end. So basically it is a type of cantilever beam, but the free support is supported with a simple support. Then it will be taken as a propped cantilever beam. And the last one is continuous beam. Continuous beam means a beam which is having more than 2 supports. Generally, these continuous beams we may able to observe in case of bridges or any buildings which are having very long spans. So with the help of supports which are supporting the beams, we differentiated beams into 5 various categories. Then next, what are the types of loads acting on these beams? Let us see. See, we are having 3 different kinds of loads. The first one is point load or concentrated load. The second one is distributed load. In that one again we are having a uniformly distributed load and uniformly varying load. And next one is the moments or couples. So see the first one now. Here concentrated load or point load. So on a beam, when only a point load or a sharp load acting at a place or at a point, such kind of loads are called concentrated loads or point loads. The next one is uniformly distributed load. This uniformly distributed load is like member is subjected to, or a beam is subjected to uniformly distributed load throughout the length or some distance. Better example for this uniformly distributed load is self weight of a member. Generally, in our analysis, we are not considering this self weight of a member, whereas in design criteria, we have to consider this self weight of a member, which is in the form of uniformly distributed load. The next one is uniformly varying load. Unlike uniformly distributed load, it is also following a pattern, but it is following in an uniformly varying way. That is called uniformly varying load. And the last one is the moments or couples. Moments or couples are like just it is creating a moment at any place in a beam, or a couple forces acting at any place or at any point in a beam. Those are called moments or couples. Along with all these loads, we are having one more kind of load, that is general loading. General loading means we don't know how that load is acting, whether it is acting at a point, or whether it is acting uniformly distributed, or whether it is acting perpendicular to the plane. We don't know anything about it. It is general loading, just acting on the member. So such kind of loads we need to analyze it into our this load forms, and we have to work out for the solution. That is the general loading. All buildings, bridges, structures, whatever we are designing, first they are subjected to general loads itself. Then we have to design it for our engineered purpose. So these loads will not come as a one. It will come as a combinations with general loading. So we need to take care of these combinations, and we have to work out in future for our shear force and bending moment calculations and shear force diagram and bending moment diagrams. Thank you. See you in next class.